Sorry, I started it so you could see my screen. Hold on. Hello and welcome to the Fostering Success Michigan webinar series, Getting to Know the Fostering Success Michigan Higher Education Consortium. My name is Maddie Day, and I am the Director of Outreach and Training with the Center for Fostering Success at Western Michigan University. And in my role, I directly oversee the Fostering Success Michigan statewide initiative. Before we get started, I'd like to say a special thank you to our funders, the Kresge Foundation, the Havermill Foundation, and Western Michigan University for their continued support of the Fostering Success Michigan statewide initiative. Today's webinar series is focused on the FSM Higher Education Consortium. As you can see here, these are some of our logos highlighting the wonderful programs and institutions that we have participating in campus-based support for students with experience in foster care. At each of our programs, there are some common elements. We have these listed here on the side. Each program has a designated coach or staff person there to support students 24/7, providing life skills coaching. Programs have mentorship opportunities, and these come in a variety of ways that fit both the community and the needs of the students. Some programs have peer-to-peer mentorship, some programs have staff mentorship, some programs have career mentors. There's also support for peer community building, and this often looks like having gatherings, maybe life skills classes for students who are engaged in the programming efforts. There's connection to campus champions, and by campus champions, we mean those folks who are placed, those professionals who are placed in different departments and offices on campus who are key to the success of students. So this often looks like a financial aid champion, an advising champion, somebody in residence life or housing, etc. There's also opportunities for students to engage in advocacy on campus and in the community. Our programs engage in pre-college outreach and recruitment, and then many of our programs offer some type of financial resource. We do have an asterisk by this because it's important that that each student that is interested look at the financial resources available to them and understand that every program has different financial aid resources to offer. So today's program that we're going to focus on is the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative from Aquinas College. And I'd like to say a very special welcome to our guest, Raul Hernandez Guzman. Hi, Raul.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Wonderful. So for our listeners, we just want to remind you that Raul is going to share information about Aquinas, about the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative. We always encourage interested students or supportive adults and professionals who would like to learn more to contact the school's representative directly. So you'll hear from Raul today, and he will be the best person for you to follow up. We have his contact information on the screen now, and we'll show it again at the end of the slideshow. So Raul, let's get started with hearing a little bit about the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative eligibility requirements. So can you share a little bit about that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So here at Aquinas, we have the Foster Success Scholarship, and we are super proud of this program. So some of the requirements are listed right here on this slide. So the students must be in the Michigan foster care at the time that they turn 18. So this is very important because sometimes we have applicants that are not, they are 16 or 17, that they must be 18. Or at the time of the high school graduation. They also had to meet some requirements like a minimum of a 3.0 GPA on a scale of a 4.0. That's really important. And also having the ACT of 22 or the SAT of 1020. I know that this score sometimes are really a little high for some students. I mean, especially when the students comes from some backgrounds like being in foster care, sometimes they feel intimidated to achieve these scores. But I can tell you that these scores are achievable. In the past, I have worked with a student, Jasmine, which is an absolutely amazing student. At some point, this student had to retake the SAT test 3 times, and I remember that on her third try, she was about to give up. But I coached her and I talked to her, I motivated her, and on her third try, she was able to achieve the 1020 SAT that we're looking for, and she was able to achieve the Foster and Success Scholarship at Aquinas College.
Awesome.
So,
That's
mhm,
wonderful.
yeah. So other things that I think that is important to know is that we give away two foster and success scholarships at Aquinas College. So we are able to provide tuition and room and board for up to two students per calendar year.
Okay. That's great. And so I love what you said about how you really worked with Jasmine, and I know we'll hear a quote from Jasmine a little bit later. Um, but working with her to achieve her goal of going to Aquinas, and I think that for any student who might be listening, or a supportive adult or professional who's working with a student, it's so important that if you have a student who's interested, that you connect them with Raul early, so that he can help, make sure that the student is on the right track, and so that if the student does need to retake one of those tests, or there is, some sort of question about the grade point or what have you, that Raul can help to support that student in the process, and knowing that there are funding sources through DHHS that can offer financing for retaking the SAT. I believe the YIT funds will pay for SAT prep testing, as well as retaking the test, I think, up to 3 times. So just knowing that making those connections are really important. So that's great.
Yeah, something else I would like to add is
Yeah,
that the students that will need to complete the admissions application, which is free online. So we don't charge for anything. When the students
that's
apply
great.
online, they can go to aquinas.edu/apply, submit the free online application. So they need to submit the official applications, admissions application, the official SAT scores, and the official transcripts, so I can start working with them. Sometimes, I mean, we rely on high school counselors to receive their official documents. But the best thing that the students can do is go to collegeboard.com and parchment.com, create an account, and send those documents themselves. That will expedite the process. And also, once we have that information, I can start working with them. And it's also important that they file for FAFSA prior to the March 1st deadline. And so
Okay.
those are some two important items that I would like to emphasize. So that will initiate the process of me working with them and providing them with the Foster and Success Scholarship.
Awesome. So I'm hearing two websites that you talked about, collegeboard.com, and was it parchment.com?
Correct.
Okay, and so those are places where students can themselves upload all of their information to make sure that it gets to you. And then, of course, such a great reminder for students to fill out their FAFSA prior to the March 1st priority deadline.
Yeah,
Um,
parchment.com would be for their official transcript, and collegeboard.com is for their official SAT or ACT scores.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, so I want to give you some time to maybe just share some highlights about Aquinas College. As a smaller institution, I don't know that people are always aware of what a great resource it is, and all the things that Aquinas has to offer beyond the Fostering Success Scholarship. And so maybe if you could share some highlights, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the quick facts, I mean, before I start going into statistics and numbers, is that Aquinas College is a small, inclusive, Catholic, private, liberal arts college here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So the location of the campus is beautiful. We are surrounded by 117 acres of wooded area right next to East Town and East Grand Rapids. And the environment is a very stress-free environment, super safe, and is is a campus, is a college that will provide a lot of one-on-one attentions to the students. We were founded in 1886 by the Dominican sisters, so we follow four Dominican pillars or traditions or of prayer, study, service, and community, and we've been accredited since 1946. So we have over 63 different majors, and so we are really recognized specifically for the arts, since we're a liberal arts school, but we're also recognized for unique programs like accounting. So we have the accounting program is one of those programs that are recognized for being in the top 3% in the nation based
Wow.
on the CPA pass rate exam. So is amazing. And so a lot of students that comes and study accounting, after they graduate, they will have to become a certified public accountant. And so that test is really hard to pass, but the Aquinas students are able to pass that exam at a really high rate. And that has put Aquinas in the top 3% in the nation for the accounting programs. So yeah, so many people don't know. They're really amazed when they hear about the accounting program, but it's one of those programs that everybody can go, but you have to be very careful when you select a college to attend because the quality of the education is really important. So accounting is great. We're also recognized for the nursing program. We have a 100% placement rate in the nursing program. We give this program in partnership with University of Detroit Mercy. And so the reason why we have a 100% placement rate is because the nursing students start taking nursing classes and start doing their clinicals on their freshman year. And so
Wow.
they get a lot of experience, hand-on experience. And so by the time they graduate, they have so much experience when they do the clinicals. Mercy Health Hospital and St. Mary's Health Hospital, and so also the Spectrum Health Hospital, and so they're able to find jobs right away after graduating. Some other programs that we have, obviously, we are recognized for the Catholic Studies, which is a very unique program. Sustainable business is huge for us, sustainability. So we have this bachelor's degree in sustainable business, which is really hard to find, but Aquinas have that degree at the bachelor's level. And so we also recognize for the pre-med program. So the
Hmm.
pre-med program has a close to 70% placement rate. So a lot of students after graduate from the pre-med program have been able to uh, been admitted at University of Michigan for med school, MSU medical school, and other recognized prestigious medical schools. So pre-med, accounting, uh, Catholic studies. We have a brand new program in translation and interpretation. So if if somebody out there has a knowledge in a foreign language, you can be a professional translator or an interpreter. Here at the Aquinas, you can study the Bachelor's of Science in Translation and Interpretation with emphasis in French, Spanish, and German. And we have other unique programs like we just launched the Child Life Specialist, which is housed under the Psychology Department. We have an engineering program in partnership with Western Michigan University, which basically has to emphasis civil engineering and entrepreneurial and industrial engineering. We have theater for social change, data analytics, and we a couple of months ago we just launched the biochemistry and molecular biology program. So we have amazing programs. Obviously, we are a liberal arts school, but we are really good in sciences as well. And with the business program, going back to business, we have the international business program. So students are able to spend one semester or a full year in other countries as well, like Germany's, Costa Rica, Spain, London. Um, we have a list. We have a list of all these different programs. But if they go to aquinas.edu, they can just search the study away programs. And that will give them the list of all the study away programs that we have. So other things
Wow.
that yeah, this is a lot of information, and I believe that many students don't realize that how many programs and how the quality of education that we have, and the reason we have that quality of education, as you can see on the enrollment section right here on the lower corner, the student population that we have right now is only 1,900 students, and so the students get a lot of one-on-one attention. The average class size is about 16 students in the classroom, and the student to faculty ratio is 11 to 1. So if the students are struggling with a class, they can easily reach out to the professors, they can easily reach out to classmates and get the help that they need. Our placement rate is 92%, and on top of relying on students and classmates and professors, we have a program that's called the Excel Mentor Program, and that program basically will assign a mentor student to new freshman students, and that mentor will be assigned for a full year. And so the idea behind the Excel Mentor program is that the students are able to succeed in their classes because we don't want the students to come to Aquinas and then drop out. So we want to make sure that they get the support that they need. And so we have a mentor who is usually a student, a senior or a junior student that's going to help that incoming freshman to um, to basically get involved into the and get integrate into the Aquinas community. And so it's gonna make sure that they know the do's and don'ts of Aquinas, so they can succeed in their college classes, so they don't drop out or fail their classes. And so yeah, so those are some of the highlights that I can share with you. Obviously, if you go or if the students go to the Aquinas.edu website, they can definitely find more information about the unique programs that we offer.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all of those things. I to underscore the point that you made, many people might be thinking, okay, I know Aquinas is a liberal arts college, and so not aware of just all of the science-based, STEM-based majors that you offer and degrees that you offer. And that's, I think the pre-med programs and the nursing programs are huge for lots of folks interested in going into the helping profession. I also think the success of your business programs and having a sustainable business major, and the placement rate or the passing rate for your accounting students is exceptional. So just really great resources for students who might be interested. And I would imagine that, there's probably a lot of appeal for students who are looking for um, a place where they can have more one-on-one focus and attention with their faculty, and that a lot of that probably helps to, address maybe challenges that students are facing early on, and really help to orient them toward the resources for support that are available. So just amazing. I learned so much.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah. So you mentioned Jasmine earlier, and you included this quote, which I just think is so wonderful. And I'm wondering if you can just say, maybe a little bit about how you have seen, the fit come together for a student that has experienced foster care and Aquinas, and if you can just say a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the Foster and Success Scholarship has been implemented at Aquinas for quite some time. I became in charge of the program just recently. I'm super excited, super happy. And so when I met Jasmine last year, it was the first time that I have encountered, someone that came from the foster care system, and I was really immediately drawn to the idea of helping her somehow, and she was able to really go through the whole process of the admissions process, submitting the application, submitting the FAFSA, and really the main key was that she was in constant communication with me. So I
Hmm.
was able to really reach out to her and really give her some support and some ideas and some encouragement to continue with the process, because I think at some point she was about to give up, and I was able to intervene and give her some resources. I connected her with the financial aid department, or the director of financial aid, which is Darcy, and so they kept in contact. And I was also able to connect her with the director of student support services and trio services here at Aquinas. So it was really amazing. When I met Jasmine, she was a senior student at Fremont High School, and she met at that point, she had the minimum GPA requirements, but she didn't have at that time the minimum SAT score. So um she had to retake that exam, like I mentioned before, 3 times. But this is a lesson in life. I mean, when an obstacles come your way, you have to keep on going. You have to keep on trying, and you have to keep yourself motivated and find the people that will encourage you and that give you support. And we will definitely provide all those services and support to our students here at Aquinas. So Jasmine was able to overcome the obstacle of the SAT, and then now she's enrolled here at Aquinas. She's about to become a sophomore next year. She's super happy. When I reached out to her and I told her that she was going to be part of this presentation, she was super excited about it, and she's very grateful. I mean, to be honest, one of the things that she shared with me is that Aquinas not only has helped her to reach the dream of studying um, a college education or pursuing a college degree, but Aquinas has helped her have to help her initiate her faith in
Mhm.
God. So since we're a Catholic school, we obviously provide those services as well. And I know that some students might not be Catholic, so I just want to emphasize that we're an inclusive Catholic school. So about 50% of our students are Catholic, 50% are not. So if you're Catholic, we will definitely give you the support that you need. But if you're not Catholic, we will respect that as well. But in the case of Jasmine, the environment helped her find that balance that she needed in her life, and she's very grateful for it. And I can tell you that the campus is amazing. It's so relaxing, and we have a brand new chapel where the students can go and pray because any pretty much everyone at some point in our life we encounter some obstacles, some challenges, and there's a need to pray. And so if that's the case, the students definitely have that support, and Jasmine has shared that with me. So Aquinas has been giving her the opportunity not just to pursue her college dream, but also an opportunity to develop her spirituality.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And, again, I think you made such a good point about continuing to persist and continuing to go after what you want. And I also think that that is helped so much by students having connections with people like you, people who can really help motivate them and encourage them and make those connections. Um, so I'm wondering if you could share a little bit about some of those connections and some of those. Um, Activities and different uh, people and organizations or activities that students might have access to, opportunities in general through the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative.
Yeah, so through the Foster Success Scholarships, basically that scholarship will provide the students with the financial aid they need, not only for tuition and books and basically the dorms is all included. I do have the information that basically the scholarships will offset the cost of the tuition, the room, the board, and activities fees. So including on the activities fees would be the study away program. So if the
Mhm.
students decide to study, they will definitely be helped with that. I mean, we have additional scholarships that they can apply for if they decide to go to another country. But we have, for example, students are able to study one semester in Costa Rica, in France, in Germany, in Ireland, in Italy, Japan, in London, and Spain. So these are the countries that we have the study away programs right now, and this is a huge opportunity where students are able to engage in other cultures. So I think that this is one of our main points here at Aquinas as part of the liberal arts education that we provide to our students is that we want to make sure that they not only get exposed to their academics and they study or learning from the books, but that they're exposed to experiences that are going to help them shape their life and grow at a personal level. And so
Mhm.
by the students taking advantage of the study away programs, they're immersed in a complete different culture. They're able to learn a new language, learn new cultures and new traditions. And so they usually live with host families and they stay there for a full semester, which is usually 4 months. But we have programs like the Germany program where they can stay there for a full year. And so the great thing about these things is that I always tell the students is that by going to another country, not only they're gonna be learning about cultures, traditions, and languages, but when the students start applying for jobs, if they're able to put in the resume that they have the study away experience, basically they're telling the future employers that they're the kind of persons that the kind of people that they're not afraid of taking risk. They're not afraid of challenges, and basically they're telling their future employers that they will be able to be in charge of people that comes from different backgrounds and cultures because they have experienced that. And so this is one of the things that they're able to get involved in, which is the study away. But we also have other programs like the Dominican Exchange Program where students are able to study one semester in another city. So we have a partnership with three Catholic universities. So we have a partnership with Berry University, which is located in Miami, Florida. We have a partnership with Dominican University in California, which is just north of San Francisco. And we have a partnership with St. Thomas Aquinas, which is 20 minutes north of New York City. So these are experiences where students can study for one semester in one of the cities. They can take advantage of very unique classes that these three Catholic universities are able to offer them. And during the time that they're there, they can definitely take advantage of internships that will help them grow at the professional and personal level. And so we have, for example, students that have gone to New York because they are interested in the finance and accounting. And so, New York is really recognized for the financial district. So you can definitely take advantage of a really amazing internships in New York. Or we have had students that have gone to New York because of the arts. New York is really well known for all these arts and Broadway shows, and we have other students that have gone to Miami because of the medical fields. Miami is really recognized for the hospitals and the health industry, and the students that have gone to California is because of the green initiatives and classes that they can take advantage of, or sometimes they're really interested in taking classes in technology, especially when it comes to management information system and data analytics. California is home to all these tech companies where they can potentially get quality of internships. So the Dominican Exchange Program is one of those activities where students are able to get involved in the study away programs. And I already mentioned the Excel Mentor program where they can definitely get involved within the community. We have also something that's called service learning trips. And these are trips, since we're a Catholic institution, we hope that the students are the kind of students that would like to give back to the community, since that's one of the service and community are two of the pillars that we follow as for being one of the Dominican traditions. So students are able to study or to provide services to community locally here in the King County, or sometimes they take trips, fall break trips to West Virginia, to Philadelphia, to the Dominican Republic, to South Dakota. But we also have trips to in the summer where students can provide services to communities that are in need, like in Peru, for example. I'll be going to Peru in about 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Wow,
Yeah, I'm
that's
super
cool.
excited. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm just really looking forward to this trip. I'll be leaving on May 7th, and I'll be back on May 24th. It's about 2.5 weeks. So we have about 8 to 10 students right now that are signed up to go with me to Peru. So what we do is that we take these students to Chimbote, Peru, which is to provide services for Casa Hogar, which is an orphanage. So we go there to provide services and love and support to these kids that have been abandoned, and we provide, hopefully, create awareness about this social issue and to make a change. And so we do this kind of services in partnership with the Dominican sisters that are located in Peru. And so this is a way that students can get involved in the community here locally or internationally, give some support to the communities that are in need. And so that is actually something that they can definitely do. And one of the things that we do, especially in Peru, is that after we are done with providing services to these communities, we take the students to Machu Picchu, which is
Mm,
one of the seven wonders, right, of the world.
yeah,
And so we just reward the students with this amazing experience in Machu Picchu. So um, Peru is just one of the trips that they can take. Where we had trips to the Dominican Republic, especially the Dominican Republic trip is for students that are into nursing and medical careers because they work with doctors and in a local clinic providing assistance to children's and the communities that are living in those in those areas. So yeah, so those are the things that they can get involved in here at Aquinas, and so we're really looking forward to have the students that would love to get involved somehow in the
that's
community.
really cool. I think hearing about the study away programs and the Dominican exchange programs there's such great opportunities for learning and for students, like you said, kind of experiencing their education in another space and likely in a space that maybe specializes in their field, but having the service learning opportunity I think gives for many students that would like to give back or would like to, have the opportunity to be part of something bigger than themselves, but not necessarily always feeling like they have the means to do that. It's such a great opportunity for them. And knowing that there's support within the campus for students who might be coming there with the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative to participate in those, I think will just really increase the successful outcomes for students. So that's fantastic. And it just, again, I think really shows that, Aquinas is very dedicated to students having a full experience, and that, you said your four pillars earlier were prayer, study, service, and community, and that as an institution, you really encourage students to live those pillars and provide them the resources to do so. Our
Exactly.
next slide is focused on cost of attendance. And so we have just a quick breakdown here. And I'm wondering if you can say again what the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative does cover, and then maybe speak to other potential scholarships that might be available for students as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the scholarships, the Fostering Success scholarships will cover tuition, room, and board, which the board is the meal plan. So the students are able to, they will get provided with 3 meals per day, Monday through Friday, and 2 meals on Saturdays and Sundays. So that would be the board part. Books and activity fees are also included. And I believe that we are able to do that in partnership with the ETV, which is the ETV funds, and so on top of the scholarships that we are giving them. So just to summarize, so it is basically the tuition, the room, board, books, and activity fees is all included. Um, and so yeah, this is right here is gonna is showing the cost and scholarships. That tuition for the year at Aquinas, since we're a private institution, is 30,746. Room and board is 9,070. So altogether it comes to around 39,000. So around 40,000 pretty much. And so the one thing that I want to emphasize is that obviously the Fostering Success Scholarship is something that we provide to the students that are in the foster care system, so they won't have to worry about the tuition, the room and board. So all that is covered by Aquinas and the initiative. But we also have other scholarships that we are able to provide to the students as well. So the scholarships are given based on GPAs and SATs, but we also have scholarships that are given based on athletics. So if the students are really involved in athletics, they can get recruited to be part of the Saints, which is the athletic teams here at Aquinas, and we have privately funded scholarships that they can apply for to offset the cost of attending Aquinas. We also have part-time jobs and internships that are paid, and so students are able to definitely reduce this cost. I know that this some students right now looking at this slide might be saying there's no way for me to afford Aquinas. There's no way for me to attain Aquinas. But I just want to remind the students and the parents or like the people that are listening is that we are a Catholic school, so we do our best to provide resources and financial aid to the students that apply. And if there's a financial need, we also rely on the FAFSA, the FAFSA information or the information we receive from the FAFSA to provide students with Aquinas grants. So grants and scholarships is pretty much free money. Is money that they won't have to repay.
That's awesome. And I think some of the things that students, don't always think about is, there's a whole world of scholarships outside of the institution and also inside of the institution. Like you said, you all rely on the FAFSA and then also have a variety of other scholarships available. And usually the keys to accessing those financial resources start with, again, the people that you're connected with. And you mentioned earlier, your financial aid champion, I believe her name was Darcy,
Yes.
who was very key with working with Jasmine. And, a lot of times it's just knowing those people's names, right? Knowing that like this person in financial aid has a name and they're going to reach out to you and talk you through it and help you make sense of, all of this, all of the finances and all of the money, and make sure that, the true cost of attendance is really taken care of. And that making that connection to that financial aid person really starts with reaching out to you, Raul. And so, for everybody out there who's listening, just again knowing that there are friendly faces there, there are people who want to help. So, absolutely, please make sure that you pick up the phone, send the email, and start that conversation because
Yeah,
we know
and we
finances.
also, besides the financial aid, we just have a new director of student support services. His name is Dondrea Brown. And so obviously the first point of contact will be me, and I will make sure that I'll connect the students with the right resources and the right person. But Dondrea has been amazing and incorporated new initiatives to help us students, our first generation students that comes from low income families, or like parents that don't speak English, so basically immigrants. And so it's Aquinas is a very inclusive environment, has a very inclusive environment, and so everybody is welcome to apply regardless of background. And so we're able to provide them with pretty much anything uh, that that will make possible for them to attend Aquinas. And so I just want to emphasize that we definitely have the resources to help them.
Yeah, and I think just knowing that there is such a spirit of access and encouragement of diversity. And so, for folks who maybe wouldn't have necessarily thought about a private institution or a
Hmm.
Catholic institution as a place for them, but are seeing things that appeal to them and where they want to go with their education and career, it's even more encouragement to check Aquinas out. Um, so the last slide that we have is what we like to call our humble brag slide. So this is an opportunity for you to share 3 things that we all should know about Aquinas and the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative. So your opportunity just to be the hype man and share those 3 things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things I would like to emphasize is the fact that we are a liberal arts institution, and so when students come to Aquinas, we have students that they definitely know what they want to do. They definitely have their goals set, and they say, I want to become a doctor. I want to be an engineer." And so we have those like students that they have their goals really planned out. But when it comes to fostering success, I know sometimes we have this background where there's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of lack of directions for the many experiences that they have lived through. And so Aquinas College is this um, will provide them with a liberal arts education that will allow them, allow the students to find their passion. So one thing that's very important is that they will have 2 years where they can be taking classes in different areas. And so our goal is not to get admitted students just to get admit them, but it's to really help them shape their lives. And so what the students do here at Aquinas is that they can take classes in sciences and arts and languages and business and pretty much anything that they're interested in. And at the end of the second year, once they truly know what they enjoy, what they're passionate about, then they can declare their final major. And so we're not gonna pressure the students to declare a major in year one, or we are not gonna require them to declare a major just to get accepted. They can get accepted, they get admitted into Aquinas, they start taking classes and explore things that they want to explore, and once they have realized their passion, then they can declare the major. So that's one thing, liberal arts. And we have had students that they said that they have changed their major because they have. I have a student I talked to just recently saying that she was an accounting major and then she took a communication class and then she realized that communication was her passion. It was like everything that she wanted to do. So she changed her major to communication. And we have had students that pursue like 2 double majors and a major and a minor. And so it is a place where students will have the opportunity to discover who they are and finally follow their passions. The other thing is that our scholarships here at Aquinas, besides the fostering success, is that their scholarships are renewable for up to 5 years, and so
Awesome.
that's very key. because sometimes we have institutions that will provide scholarships, but it's like a bucket scholarship, and once the money
Mm-hmm.
runs out, they're out of luck, and so that's when we find students struggling to pay for their final year. And so here at Aquinas, we have our scholarships are renewable for 5 years. The academic scholarships are renewable for 5 years as long as they maintain a minimum GPA. So depending on the scholarships that they receive, they will need to maintain a 2.5 GPA, a 3.0, or a 3.7, depending on the amount. So one of the scholarships that we have, obviously the top scholarships, that are $17,000 a year. They will need to maintain a 3.0, but the lower scholarships that we have, which is $10,000 a year, they will need to maintain a 2.5. The students that apply outside of foster and success scholarships, if they have a really top SATs and top SAT scores and top GPAs, I will say if they have a minimum of a 3.5 cumulative GPA and a 1200 on the SAT, they will be qualifying for $15,000 to $17,000 a year, but they also get invited to compete at the Spectrum Scholarship Competition. This is a competition that happens once a year, where Aquinas give away one full tuition and room scholarships and four full tuition scholarships. So once a year, Aquinas give away five full tuition scholarships, with the top prize being full tuition and room scholarships.
Wow.
And so they can definitely get five students per year get a free education at Aquinas. Um, but on the same day, I mean, obviously we have about 200 students competing every year. We give away 125 scholarships on that day, and so more than 60% of students that attend that competition walk away with something. So the smaller scholarships that we give away on that day is that we give 10 awards of $2,000, 15 awards of $1,000, and 95 awards of $500. So that will be the second thing that I would like to share is that um, if the students come from backgrounds where um, there's a low income, there's a need, there's financial need, we definitely have ways to help them financially. And then the third thing that I would like to share is that Aquinas has a very inclusive and safe environment. I know that safety is one of those hot topics that are out there right now, especially with everything that's going on. But Aquinas is a really stress-free environment. We have campus safety available 24/7. It's a beautiful campus surrounded by 117 acres of wooded area, and so if the students, especially if, female students, if they are taking an evening class, especially in the winter when it gets dark, at 4 p.m., if they would like for someone to walk them from the academic building to the dorms or from the academic buildings to their cars, they can call campus safety and somebody will walk them so they can feel safe. Nothing bad has ever happened on campus, but it's just an extra precaution that we take to make them feel safe and to and secure. We want to
Mhm.
make sure that we provide that stress-free environment to our students.
For sure. You know, thank you so much for sharing those three things. I think they're excellent, and starting off your humble brags with the commitment to students finding their passion is just it's everything that I would want to hear if I was a student or a supportive adult who's working with a student, because I know that for a lot of our young people, they just haven't had the opportunity to actually just be a student and really think about what excites them. And so knowing that there's an institution who wants to support them in that journey, I think can really make a significant difference. And that with that comes the financial support and opportunities for financial resourcing to explore and to make that go through that journey of really finding kind of what their path into their career is going to be. And that as an institution, that you all are very committed to being inclusive and making sure that students feel safe so they can take full advantage of all the opportunities to engage on campus through learning and activities. So just really great, I think, pieces to end on for our audience who's out there listening. And just a reminder for folks that if you would like to learn more, we always encourage you to follow up directly with the college. Raul's contact information is here again. And as you can tell, he's has a plethora of knowledge about Aquinas College, the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative, and is somebody who, Raul, you truly are somebody who wants to be more than just, the person answering the email, and that you're really invested in the success of the current and future students, which is always, always an exciting thing for us to hear. Um, and again, for everybody else, just a reminder of all of our online spaces where you can go and find more information about programs within the Fostering Success Michigan Higher Education Consortium. Additional information can be found in our guides, on our website, on our Facebook page. And then you can also find out more about Aquinas. And Raul gave the website several times. We have it here, aquinas.edu. We encourage you to check that out and really dig into learning more about what the Fostering Success Scholarship Initiative offers. And then, of course, follow Aquinas on Facebook and see all the fun things that they have going on. So thank you, Raul, so much for joining us. And just thank you for all the wonderful support that you offer for our students. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye bye.
Yes, bye-bye.